Test 1 2. Testing 1 2. AC Sports Live on the third day of September. Live the place to be. And we have NFL Week 1 on the horizon this Thursday night, Friday night, and Sunday and Monday. How was your fantasy team looking? What's the problem with FSU and Florida? In a nutshell, Tender Love is back. We got a Tender Love report. ESPN is wrong for this. In my Coach Cobbs corner, your media presence warning, Young Bucks. This is AC Sports Live. Let's get it.
He ain't never slumber, never put him to the test. He be reigning king forever, resurrected after death. All praise to God, brother, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, all praise to the one.
Yes, sir.
All right, I just finished my last fantasy draft of this season. I'm in 4 different fantasy leagues. The 4CILF, the Christians Community Center International Football League, with my church brothers. I'm in the No Fun League, a kind of de facto anti-sports, anti-ESPN league. And then we have an anti-ESPN league. And I also have the War Room Fantasy League. Rudy Campbell in here. What's up, sir? Saw you hit the links this weekend. That's always nice. Big game this week. Modern Day Monarchs versus the Bishop Gorman Gales in Santa Ana. I said last week, it's not enough room. They should have had that thing at the, let's see, they could have had that thing at the Anaheim baseball field like back in the days. They could have had it at the Honda Center in Carson. Cerritos College is not ready yet. It's going to be a big game, man. I believe Modern Day is too big. I think Rudy and Coach Lara and the boys going to run the ball down their throats. Skills should be a push as far as skill on the field, the number of 5 stars across the board. However, the lineman, man, have you seen Modern Day's line? And they're very well coached up. It might get ugly. AC2 in the building. Alexander Cobbs the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th in here. Got his first taste of Division I college football last week. Proud dad, proud mom, proud family moment. Big Sis was in the building as well. San Jose got the win versus Sac State. It was kind of shaky at first, and then again, offensive lines, defensive lines start paying dividends. Who was in the weight room, who could push the line, typically wins in a long, hard-fought game. Rudy says should be a good one. Should be a good one. I think Bishop will definitely bring more to the plate than Sen 10 did 2 weeks ago. So it's definitely going to be something. Thank God this show ain't on DirecTV. Man, you can just jump right into it, man. Off the top. Tender Love. First topic. I'm getting ready. Me and AC2 at the hotel in San Jose. Set the scene. Getting ready to watch USC take on LSU. Shout out to Coach Va, Zach Branch, Zion Branch, USC Trojans. The only Trojans I'm cheering for right now. But I'm cheering for them. And I kind of want LSU to win. But I want Zach Branch to go off. Anyway. Got my snacks. AC2 wakes up from his nap. And we get a notification on the hotel TV that we don't have access to this channel. ABC and ESPN are in contract dispute. And I called the hotel. I said, yo, you guys need to pay the bill. I said, we been watching ESPN for the whole weekend. And all of a sudden, when the biggest game of the week comes on, you guys cut it off. He said, I'm going to call my boss right now. So the hotel's calling all over the place. And they come back and say, this is not us. It's Disney. Disney is trying to make sure the dispute or whatever it is, it's bad, man. It was strategic. They planned it that way. Did it work? We don't know. So that was weak, man. That was really weak. Disney, ESPN, and I'm an employee of Disney Fox. I still have my editor's card and all that good stuff. Get on the lot. That right there is tender, man. You don't do that to people. People setting up parties. Thankfully, we had ESPN Plus on my laptop. My trusty laptop came through and we still were able to watch the USC LSU game, which turned out to be a very good game. Shout out to, again, the Branches. Only reason why I would cheer for the Cardinal and Gold. As I always say, I have no problem with USC. They brought me some great memories. Great memories. My sweet brother Noomsy's in here. Got him in 3 of my fantasy leagues. I'm pretty stoked about my teams. My fantasy team tonight projected to Hulk smash this week. I haven't looked at my projections, but I have to say in all my leagues I got a solid top 3, and that's kind of where I usually hang my hat. And then when the chips fall, it comes down to your role players, just like anything else. Rudy says, "Oh, bad. I went to 3 different bars to watch the game." Man, we was on the laptop. Tough. Like, it was like, I don't know what else to do. And I was like, if this doesn't work, if ESPN Plus didn't work, we going to the bootleg station and we're going to have to watch it illegally. It was bad, man. My fantasy teams look like this, man. Just to, I'm always going to try to get my Eagles. So back in the day, I used to always draft Deshaun Jackson, knowing he was going to get hurt. I said, D-Jack, don't do me greasy. And then one year I got CMC, and he got hurt first 2 or 3 games. And then the following year I got Saquon Barkley, and he got hurt in the first 2 or 3 games. So these drafts, I really didn't want the first 2 or 3 picks because I was going to be torn. And I could tell Sweet Brother Noomsy, Mike Staff, in the Time Is Now podcast, I might take Tyreek Hill, man. And he was like, it's not that bad of a pick because receivers going to get the ball. But if you don't get a top 4 or 5 back that's going to score every game, these backup backs don't get the ball in the red zone. The quarterback's keeping it. So you start thinking about your strategy. So my 4C IFL, I got Jalen Hurts, Breece Hall, Pacheco. Then my receivers fall off. So I went heavy on the ground in that league. Devontae Adams, Xavier Worthy, Dalton Kincaid. I picked up Cooper Kupp. We'll see what he does on the way back. And I think I'm projected, you look at the projections. I don't know if you guys go off of those. I think projections are just, they don't know. It's in this league, we got playoff bracket and schedule, power rankings. I'm 3rd in that league. Let's just look straight to the projections. In the No Fun League, me and Mike Staff in this league, let's take a look at power rankings. I'm 6th. Mike, which one are you, Mike? 1 of 1, or are you? I can't tell which one is you because you got a code name. You might be top 3, but my squad in this league, I got Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Najee Harris, Deebo Samuel, Devontae Smith, and I got Dalton Kincaid again. Going with Rice from Kansas City will hopefully catch the ball this year. Let me go jump over to the anti-experience. My team is called the Invisible Bullies. Shout out to OJ Hadnot, the Invisible Bully himself. Good gooch. Going to the league power rankings. I'm 5th in this one. And this is another. So we got a couple of paid leagues where if you come in top 3, you get your money back. You get some money. You get a couple dollars. So it's going to be interesting. And last but not least, the War Room. Big Lonnie Grimm is the president of the War Room. And last year I split the championship. Was it last year I split the championship? Or was that previous year? I had some success in this league. Going Jalen Hurts, Mixon, White at running back. I got Jamar Chase. I got Dale from Houston. Again, Dalton Kincaid been my popular pick. I pick up the rookie, Keon Coleman, just because I know he's going to be a dog. They got him ranked pretty low in fantasy, but I'm thinking he's going to be wide receiver number 1. By week 3, he'll be a top 10 receiver if everything goes as planned. If you got Josh Allen slinging the ball, should be targeted pretty good. Yeah, you stole some from me tonight. Okay, Mike Staff always says you can go chalk. And for those who don't play fantasy football or fantasy at all, you go by what the projections and the experts say. Mike knows me. You the hustlers? Okay. I go off feeling after the obvious is gone. Because at the end of the day, you got to have fun watching the games. And I don't pick any Cowboys. I saw somebody pick CeeDee Lamb from our league, Mike. And his team is called Fly Eagles Fly. And he picked up CeeDee Lamb in the top 3. You can't be a true Eagles fan and you picking up Cowboys. That don't happen. I mean, you can pick up a Commander. You can pick up a Steeler. But you cannot pick up a Dallas Cowboy. I saw Ezekiel Elliott sitting there in round 12, and I just picked somebody else up. I can't do it, man. I changed my name in that league where I'm the tops. Okay. Cali Cheeks. I don't know if that's a good name, man. That means you're booty. That means you're not good. You're giving up cheeks. Wait, splitting championships? It was a I think it was a COVID year. It was a COVID year. No, it was the Damar Hamlin year. Okay, so this is what happened. When Damar Hamlin died on the field twice, I'm playing against somebody that had Joe Burrow at quarterback. And when Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals playing against the Buffalo Bills, the game got stopped because Damar Hamlin died on the field. Later to be revived and swapped out with a clone because they didn't want to reveal that the vax killed him. All the conspiracy theories came out, man. But all that to the side, I won the championship because Damar Hamlin died. And to be fair, since this was the first quarter when it happened, that game was stopped in the first quarter, and he had Joe Burrow, and he only needed 10 points to win. So we split the championship. You slept on Keon Coleman. Y'all think he's gonna be a dude. That was Ray, and he did it. I got Happy Boy Law in here. I didn't grab Dak. Nah, man. Dak is going to give somebody a lot of points. But I cannot, as a true Eagles fan, pick up Dak Prescott for fantasy points. Can't do it. Can't do it. Shout out Eric B. and Rakim. Throwback shirt. Make them clap to this. 1986. Yes, sir. I keep it 100. Later Williams always gets that. Yeah, he has a good regular season. He's a good pick. But you still have to be able to root for the team you're going for. Fantasy aside, NFL starts this week. My Birds play Friday night, like it's high school. and was it Sao Paulo, Brazil? And my main man Chris Rubio said we should boycott the game because the Brazilian prime minister or whatever he's called, dictator or whatever he is in Brazil, is banning Elon Musk's X from the game. That anybody that uses X during the game or whatever is going to be arrested. And I'm like, what does that have to do with the football game? And why are we in Brazil anyway? And he was like, they should boycott the game. The NFL should move the game from Brazil. I'm like, the NFL ain't doing jack. The NFL wants to do what the NFL does. The NFL doesn't care about free speech. Most Americans, we hold tight to our, First and Second Amendment rights and all the things that we, claim that makes this country what it is. A foreign NFL football game. Just think about what it's for. Like you play an NFL football game in London. You play an NFL football game, they're playing, where's another way out place. They're just trying to gain fans. They're trying to gain visibility. I don't know. It gets political when you start doing those things. Y'all know I can't stand politics. Happy Boy knows it. I don't even deal with it. I'll vote, but that's not what my show is about. Eric B for president, you know what I'm saying? If you ask me, but it's still Eagles, Packers, and they're in danger for wearing green. So the Eagles are wearing black and white, no green. The Packers are going to go ahead and wear their uniforms as is. I believe they're going to wear the yellow pants and yellow helmets and white jerseys. So they may not be in as much danger. I mean, what kind of danger can you really be in a foreign country wearing a color of the local gang? If the local gang can't figure out that this is a professional contest bringing money to our city, what are we doing? I drafted Josh and didn't get Keon. Well, you would just be doubling up on points. LeDon always gets that. Okay, yeah, I got that already. So that's that game. But the first game will be on Thursday. I believe that's KC. The Kansas City Chiefs takes on my Baltimore Ravens. I say my Baltimore Ravens. That's my second team. If the Eagles were to shut down, I'm going with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Shout out to Big O, Jonathan Ogden. KC, Baltimore. KC usually starts the season off slow. And does Lamar Jackson have a bone to pick with the NFL and everybody saying he's not him? I got Baltimore beating KC. I got Philly beating Green Bay. Shout out to Tiff, the biggest Green Bay fan we know. And the rest of the NFL games will be pretty juicy. I don't see anything else on here that I'm really going to just jumping down. If you want to see some predictions, go to the Time Is Now podcast with Sweet Brother Nilsey, Mike Stafford. He breaks down every single game. I'm sure he's going to set up some games, set up some shows with Sweet Brother Tony, Sweet Brother AC, and we'll have a whole Sweet Brother episode of breaking down some NFL games. It's the NFL, man. You really, really can't go wrong. Pull up some peanuts, some cashews, some honey roasted peanuts, cream soda, and just watch the games, man. Cannot go wrong. So the Rams can't wear blue when they play at home in Inglewood. No, man, you're talking about Brazil. American gangs understand. They're not tripping off of road teams coming in wearing the color. It's Brazil. And why are we afraid of Brazil when we got 18th Street here in Los Angeles? We got insane Crips wear Raiders in. Rolling 20 Crips wear Steelers gear. That's why when the Steelers play in LA, it's like a home game. Game of the week is Raiders Chargers. Man, please. Where is that game? Raiders versus Chargers at SoFi. It's going to be a Raiders home game. Because all the fans from USC are going to put their jerseys on, the Raider jerseys on, and go right across the street and go watch the Raiders play. Because every SC fan I know is not a SC alumni. They're de facto Raiders fans that don't have a home since the Raiders left. So they got built-in fans, man. Tony is on vacation and I'm down with the flu. Man, you've had the flu for a while. You know what that is? That's COVID. Mike said, I've got the COVID. Don't get the Rona, man. Don't get the Rona. All right. So the NFL's back, man. Check your local listings for the days, times. Who's your pick to win the whole thing? I got the Eagles. Surprisingly enough, we're loaded. If we don't win the NFC, something's wrong because we're loaded. Speaking of loaded, what's wrong with Florida State and Florida? Something ain't right. When the Steelers play in LA, it's like a home game. It really is, man. And don't trip, I'm going to the Eagles versus Rams. It's a Sunday night game. It's going to be an Eagles home game. Last year, we were pretty close to making it a home game. But this year, it's at night. Oh, man, I might take the next day off from work. I'm going to see the brotherly love shove with our new center. I'm going to watch Jalen Hurts push that ball right into the end zone. Just like last year. Me holler at my boy Javelin Guidry and get them season tickets once again on the 5-yard line. Row 5, 5-yard line. Can't beat it. Sweet cousin Karif in here. Don't get the Rona, man. Stay away. Social distancing. You had the flu since Sunday. It is Tuesday. All right, man. If you still have the flu come Thursday, go get you some antibiotics because you got the Rona all up in your patella. Can't beat the Ravens. The Ravens and the Eagles in the Super Bowl will be my dream matchup. I will not be mad at that. I still have my $2 on the Eagles. I think Happy Boy put $2 on the field. Somebody else put money on the field. Watch out for Detroit. Now Detroit is legit, man. I think we still all owe Dan Campbell an apology. He was biting kneecaps and scratching shins and grabbing, bootstraps. And the Lions are a difficult out. Shout out to Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, modern day's finest. And I mean that literally. Amon-Ra St. Brown might be the best modern day professional ever. If he keeps this up, he might be the only one. FSU still mad about last season. All right, so talking about FSU. What happened? The homie Eddie Tobin in here. On Florida State Seminoles team, we're having a bad QB4. Quarterback number 4 play. He's terrible. I wonder why he's transferred so many times and hasn't gotten the job done. All right, so to talk about DJ U. I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name because I'm going to mess it up. I'm good friends with his dad, Big Dave. Our kids were being recruited at the same time. I had my kid at Juice Biggs. He had his kid at the front. He wanted me to bring my kid over to the front. My son is loyal to the guys who got him there. Shout out to Coach Kelly and the guys at Juice Biggs, Orange County, Coach Rudy Cambrero. Got my son ready, got him out. It all worked out how it was supposed to work out. In the meantime, DJ, who was a St. John Bosco Brave with his brother, Big Concrete, who is at Oregon, Mateo U. They're pros. They're gonna play in the pros for a long time, DJ included. The problem with DJ, and it's not only DJ at FSU. I won't say conspiracy theory. My theory, as I looked at all the transfers, shout out to Earl Little and Earl Little Jr., who transferred from Alabama to FSU. It's not that they're without talent. The messaging is wrong. The hunger is missing. If we looked at that roster and figured out who got paid, and it's not just FSU, we're talking about Florida and other teams who on paper should be very good. So you figure Coach Norvell and the Florida State Seminoles were ranked number 10 in the country going into the season. Throw the rankings out, man. You look at a lot of potential players that have a lot of upside. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of those 4- and 5-star players from Alabama that transferred to FSU, they got taken care of handsomely. That brings a whole nother element to the locker room. Not that that's the reason why, but I believe the sentiment amongst players is you brought this guy in to replace me. He's not better than me. And he got all this NIL money. So there's immediate division. You kind of kill the brotherhood that's needed to play college football. It's still not a professional locker room yet. The pros is one thing. It's still a whole nother dynamic to elevate the mental enthusiasm of a professional. College, these are still kids. I'm all for kids getting their name, image, and likeness dues. Like they are generating this much money. But when you hand a young man a bag and then you don't hand the young men bags who are already there, and these two are competing and they got to go out there and root for each other and play together. If they don't buy in as a team, not saying this is all DJU's fault. They dropped 6 passes. And the complaint is that DJ throws the ball too hard. I don't care about that. Dan Marino threw the ball hard. John Elway threw the ball hard. There are guys who throw the ball hard and guys still catch the ball. Continuity's not there. Family's not there. The uniform courage of a team believing in each other and putting their foot down saying, hey, we're going to stop this right here. It's not there. DJ's a great leader. He's a great game manager, the term that Cam Newton was using a few weeks back, which means he'll be a good pro for a long time. Now, game changers, they're few and then far in between, but game managers pretty much rule the NFL. In the right system, he'll be just fine. He throws for 300 yards a game. He may not throw a bunch of touchdowns, but he's not the reason why they're losing. He did throw a pretty bad interception. I'll give it that. But something's missing. In Florida, there's no reason. Florida teams have so much talent to pick from and choose from. Kamari McLean is on the Florida Gators. I don't think he played much. Nephew Earl Little Jr. is on the Florida State Seminoles. He didn't play much, and he, to me, is the best DB on the roster. So something's not right. Some changes need to be made. But if you ask me, the problem is desire, is hunger, is messaging. So if they are still mad about what happened last year in the BCS being left out, you are now proving the BCS right, that your team without your star quarterback from last year is not as good as it is supposed to be on paper. Eddie Thomas said, when the Niners come to SoFi, it's Levi South. The Niners go deep too, man. Everybody come to SoFi disrespectfully, man. Bruce said, I'll take it. I took 3 COVID tests every day. The flu is worst, in my opinion. The flu, hey, Depends on what type of flu. The Ravens smacked on Detroit. Come on. AC2 said Boston College rushed for 263. It's not DJ's fault. When you rush for 300 yards, the defense, first job of the defense is to stop the run. So those 4-star, 5-star D tackles needed a star to be removed. Issues from continuity that is going to be Deion's issues. Too many moving parts on some of these teams. So the Colorado Buffaloes have that same issue. They barely beat an FCS school. Recent Division II champions, North Dakota State. And then moved into the Big 12 where it's track meet every week. And you might see a good defense every other week. Continuity, man. I think it's a Nipsey Hussle lyric. You moving around players on your team too much. It's finding the right combination, man. And it's not science. You don't know who's gonna mesh well. It's not science. You got to find and pry and find the right mix, and it's not easy. Talent is there. The hunger is gone. Nobody's leading with their heart. Coach Norvell may be overrated. NIL plays them. So now it's individualized. It's guys going for self, guys getting paid, guys driving Lamborghinis, guys wearing $100,000 gold chains in the game. Did you see the gold? Did you see the platinum? Did you see the ice that Shador and Shiloh and Jimmy Horn were wearing during the game? I mean, these dudes got it made, man. Now, Shador is still hungry. He wants it bad. But they got to walk on starting at running back because all the top running backs in the program left because of this right here, of what's happening. It's a Shador for the Heisman campaign. I did see a lot of drop passes. Protection was suspect, but he does have good feet. Don't know why he didn't run more. Something has to change. I don't think they bench him. I think they're going to get the ball out sooner and get the run game going. I think his best bet will be to find his tight end and they run the football to take the pressure off him trying to throw the ball 35, 40 times a game. Once he gets into a good groove, I think he'll be back. Is McClain on that active roster? He was suited up. He was in the pregame promo. So we did see him, and he's active. Now, is he playing? Still got a couple more games before he redshirt if he's not active. I can't see him redshirt. He was a top prospect. They brought him in. They had no scholarships yet left. So they found an NIL deal to pay for his everything. So he's basically on scholarship through NIL. Yeah, well, Miami's, in Cam Ward, shout out to Cam Ward, who is probably the top 5 NFL pick right now. Picking himself up from Washington State to Miami and now to the top of everybody's list for top quarterback prospects next to Shador Sanders. So it should be interesting to see if Florida can turn it around, Florida State can turn it around. Colorado has do they have a real test yet? I think they have Nebraska. Let's take a look. What does NCAA football? They're not ranked, so let me see. I want to go Big 12. And Colorado plays Nebraska. Nebraska's favored by 7.5 points. It's at Nebraska at 4:30 p.m. So Nebraska has a brand new quarterback, a T-move version of Patrick Mahomes, but they got them as 7.5 point favorites. So Colorado being the underdog, I'm sure they'll have that chip on their shoulder. And remember, Colorado didn't do very well last year in the Pac-12. Now they're in the Big 12. It should be better for them because the defense is not going to be as tough. But Nebraska plays good defense. So there are some teams that are still playing defense in the Big 12. So we shall see. Coach Cobbs corner. If you watch the USC game versus LSU, you saw this situation. And if you're familiar with John Morant, Kyron Lacey is one of the top receivers in the country. Mike Staff said, what about Clemson? They ain't been right since Dabo Swinney went out there and showed his affiliations to his demographic. I'm going to keep it real general. You can do this research yourself. But you got a team that's 85% black, and you make some statements out that gives everybody on the team a little gas face, and you get what you get. So I don't think Clemson's going to be good for a minute. They had a nice little run though. Kyron Lacey from LSU, talented. Next, some say he's the next Jamar Chase, the next Justin Jefferson, the next OBJ. 23 years old, a junior, so he'll be a 24-year-old senior if he stays. Got a penalty after he scored a touchdown. And thinks it's a good idea to make a gesture as if he's shooting the SC players. Got a 15-yard penalty, which equals USC points on the ensuing drive. And this is not just to Lacey. This is to all my youngsters out there. Your media presence, man. What you stand for. Your character. And who you are as a person. That means something. Why do you have to go there? Like, they banned the neck slash years ago, and you saw what kind of trouble John Morant got into with his actual guns. And what would make you think you would not be penalized, you would not be seen? A football game of that magnitude has cameras everywhere. There might be 50 cameras on the field, well, facing the field, recording everything. He's lucky he didn't get suspended. But we live in such a delicate time where everyone is so sensitive to everything. I grew up on All in the Family and the Jeffersons and Sanford and Son, and programs that were cutting edge with offensive material. But knowing what we know now and how easily people are offended and how quick people want to put you into a stereotypical role, and you're trying to be drafted by the NFL. Young players, you don't need that in your life. The cautionary tale, the next step is that I am about that life and I will do something crazy. Look at Mikey Williams of basketball. One of the most famous AAU young basketball phenoms. Where is he now? Gunplay got him completely off the map. Penny Hardaway is trying to get him in to school. He transferred 10 times in high school? All that keeping it real, all that I keep it 100, all that you can't take me out the hood and can't take the hood out of me and all that stuff. Man, you just lost money doing that, man. You don't need that. Getting into a little scuffle, okay, that happens. It's an emotional game. But some of this stuff that we doing, man, like I pray against the murderous spirit in our communities every day. I say, Yeshua, remove the murderous spirit from our young people. I don't even call it black on black crime. I call it just a murderous spirit in our community. Just the gesture alone, I might be going a little bit extra on it, but it derives from somewhere. If you have that mentality, then it's in you. And in the good book, it says what's inside a man will eventually come out. So I think it's something that you need to address. And I think Coach Kelly of LSU was making excuses for his team that they're just emotional. I think it's just really time for somebody to have a talk, not just the LSU players, but all of our players in America. We have to let go of that street mentality. We heard Mace and Cameron on the It Is What It Is podcast and said, if you're 60 years old and you still repping the streets, you failed. What does the streets have to do with this football game? Now, I heard the kid that he beat was from Kenner, Louisiana, so he might have some ties with him, but it's still not that serious that you have to want to make that gesture. I don't know. Maybe I'm being extra. Maybe I'm being an old head. But it says something about your character. And if I'm a GM and I see that, do I draft him or do I draft Zach Branch from USC, who's a great character kid, wants to be the next real estate mogul? He said he wants to be the president of the United States. And comes from a great family, and you don't see him doing that stuff. Not that he's not a square either. The kid has a good time. He has a great time everywhere he goes. Great kid. But what do you want on your team? Somebody you got to have a babysitter with, or a grown man who's mature and understands his surroundings and understands what the big picture is. Ronnie Saw said, need my Raiders to tank and get a quarterback. Sanders would be a great fit in Vegas. Personality, pedigree, everything screams Raiders. If not the Raiders, then he'll be a Cowboy. Think about it. His dad was a good Cowboy. Jerry Jones likes names. He didn't even want to pay Dak. He just like, Dak ain't him. Dak ain't him. Yeah, he got 0 transfers. You know, brothers ain't trying to go. I mean, brothers will go to Ole Miss before they go to Clemson right now. And you know, Ole Miss, you know what Ole Miss is? The Rebels. Javaris Crankton, whatever his name is, that used to play for the Lakers, is locked up on a murder charge. Man, living that life. Mikey Williams got baptized, and him and Dior Johnson are going to hopefully to play for UCF this upcoming season. Mikey Williams gave his life to the Lord, and Dior Johnson are going to go to UCF. Praise God. It would take a young man to give his life to the Lord to get away from that mentality, man. Praise God, for real. Now you have to live it. Shout out to all the young men who have been getting baptized recently. You're seeing an open display of young men giving their lives to the Lord. So I just praise Yeshua that these young men are seeing that they must understand where their blessings come from. Mikey Williams is ultra talented. But when you start believing your own hype, bad stuff happens. Those SC receivers look good against LSU. Man, Jacoby Lane, Zach Branch, Kai Lemon, and what's the young man who had one of the best catches you ever see? I mean, modern day product. I'm gonna type in USC best catch versus LSU. You gotta love Google, man. Everything. What you gotta do is at your fingertips, man. But you gotta look at these cookies always pop up every time you try to look at something. Oh, come on. I have the picture right here. It just won't give it to me. The kid is stretched out. If anybody knows the kid's name, Kyron Hudson. Is it Kyron Hudson? Of modern day, number 10 for USC. One of the best catches you'll ever see. He said, Rodney Saw said, I thought they made that quarterback look better than he is. They probably did, but he's completing the ball. I used to be a quarterback coach, and I would always tell my quarterbacks, just play catch. Throw the ball so your receivers can catch the ball. Don't try to impress me with how hard you throw it or where you think it might should go and the receiver's supposed to be there. Complete the ball. Put the ball on the receiver. That's the game of the game. Now, I might have saw something even better than that catch. Let's see if it'll come through. There's a young man from the school's name was similar to his name. Let me see if I put it in here. From Robert Morris College. Rob Carter Jr. Makes a, I want to say 360.
Wow. Oh my gosh. First of all, he went up in the air. He did a full.
You go up with one hand and bust a, I'm not even sure what a sideways flip is called, but this looks like some Simone Biles type of agility right here. You snatch it with your right hand. The ball's not going to you. This is an interception. And hits a full, was it pirouette? Nothing short of the pick of the year. I mean, you got to be like, oh my God, these young boys got so much ability and so much body control. Robert Morris is an HBCU. That's the only highlight clip I put on my highlight that I send to the NFL. That would be the only clip I show. If that don't get him in camp, he ain't going to camp. Clemson, the only major D1 to not have a transfer. And you don't think Dabo Swinney's comments had anything to do with that? Didn't he say something like he doesn't believe players should get paid NIL money? He said something about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee. He had some some things to say that might rub the melanation the wrong way or some kind of way. But that was a great first week of college football. Once again, the Bruins are in trouble. UCLA barely beats Hawaii. We were looking for a switch at the quarterback position, but Ethan Garbers finally found his rhythm. We got a 16-13 win over Hawaii, the Rainbow Warriors, one of the bottom teams in the Mountain West, and we're going to the Big Ten. If we win another game, I'd be surprised. It does not look great for the UCLA Bruins. we better find a way to run the ball or it's going to be a long season. We couldn't get TJ Harden going to save our lives. We were relying on the pass. We're going to the Big Ten, fellas. We have to run the football or it's going to be a very long season. I'll leave it at that. Deshaun Foster, we love you. We're pulling for you. And you were a good running back in your own rights. But these Big Ten teams, we got Indiana in 2 weeks. Then we got LSU, who just lost to SC. And then we got to go to Oregon. We got to go to LSU and to Oregon back to back. Them two of the toughest road trip games you ever. You better beat Indiana, because you might mess around and be 2-2. If you mess around and be 1-3 after this run, I don't know, man. All right, before I get out of here, you know what time it is. It's Unk season. Before my daughter throws up, it's Unk season. Now there's this Unk video. It ain't really Unk. This is Angry Man. This is old Angry Man, where the old man at the rec league decides to choose violence and beats up everybody at the 50 and over basketball game. Well, it might be 40 and over. There's some guys up there with black hair, but he's full on white hair, old school, elbows, throwing punches. He came in there with an intent. Bill Lambier Sr. elbow, reverse elbow for anybody that wants some. Knee brace. And young guy was like, what is going on? Did he get the bucket and one? Talk some trash. Elbow. Do they kick him out the league? This might be a sprint to the comments type of video. We'll have to revisit this one. He was not playing at all. Ronnie Saw said exactly why I don't do church leagues, police games, youth leagues, and certain adult leagues. You said church leagues? I got clothesline one time in a church league. We were playing in the church league, nighttime church league, and I go for a rebound, and I got my legs taken out from underneath me, and I fell on my head, and I jumped up because Long Beach AC jumped up and was like, who would do such a thing? You have to beat that dude up after he does that. But you're like, this is a church league. You can't just jump up and start fighting. So I jumped up, looked at him, he walked away, said me a quick little prayer to calm down. But I was so mad. And no call was made. Routine contact at the church league. And I'm the captain of the team, so I can't blow my top. D-Mac fine here, you know. Unk season. Number 2. All right, this one here.
Cause they got me on the run. Now I'm back in the coat.
All right, so this one here is a prime example of what you need to do when your body wants to do one thing, but your mind knows the truth. Sometimes you forget. You are 70, 72 years old. It has been 40, 50 years since you hit these movies. You get feeling good and you go to the drop spin and you tear all your knee ligaments off. Tear them all off. Because this is what Unk season is doing. It's got brothers out here forgetting their age. These brothers is way past their prime. They are 70 plus. I'm all for brothers getting their little groove on, dancing, having a good time. But this man tried to do a drop spin. Because my man hit the Michael Jackson spin on him and he felt like, okay, you're not going to outdo me in front of these sisters. I'm going to do a drop spin and I'm going to kill it. I'm going to shut the whole thing down. And his knees are like, what you doing? What you about to do? I got this right here. No. We gotta stay in our lane, fellas. We got to stay in our lane. This stuff can get dangerous. Very dangerous, man. Where I said church leagues are off the hook. And they always recruit at least one brother who isn't saved. We were playing against a full-on overseas team. Everybody on their team played overseas. And we had regular brothers from the church. So we was playing hard. We were playing so hard. I jammed my toe up on a steel. We were trying so hard. These brothers were just pros, man. 3 of them dudes were sleepers, like you said. Not saved at all. Don't even go to that church. And you really can't say he can't be on the team, because what if he goes to church this coming Sunday? And we can't tell the brother he can't play. So, you know, I'm trying to recruit bros. I was like, yo, man, you should do it on Thursday. Come play for the team, man. You ain't got to go to church. His tire went on flat, says D-Mac. That tire is blown all the way out. There's no recovery from that. That knee is gone. You're going to have to get a knee replacement. AC2 can't believe it. One last, we got 1 minute left. They actually got
And welcome to Uncle
training video.
Where we teach you how to go from boyhood to manhood.
It's a phenomenon, y'all.
To unclehood.
Unclehood.
Here at Uncle Training
This reminds me of
we
the
get down to the fundamentals of what
Hollywood
it means
Shuffle.
to be a black uncle.
Black acting
All
school.
of our classes are especially
This is
designed to move you
acting
on your
school.
trajectory up to unclehood.
Oh man, I can't call it.
So our classes consist of things like how to dress,
If this is the
how
case,
to walk.
I've been an unk for a long time. My wife and daughter said, "You're not an unk.
Oh man, yo,
Quit acting like an unk."
Oh man, your world.
And my daughter says, "You're not. Stop it.
Style,
I'm not an unk,
this movement,
but I'm an OG.
specifically to being an
They call me
uncle,
OG. They
different
call me
than
Pops.
anything else on the planet.
They call me
Oh, man,
old school.
I can't call it. Oh, man,
I have not been
can't
called
call
unk
it.
yet, but all these isms I've been doing. I've been saying I can't call it for a long time. I've been saying I'm trying to get like you for a long time.
Sign up for your lesson.
Now I don't dress like an unk. And my wife was like, "You're too young to be an unk." And I agree with her. But I am stuck in 1986. Shout out to Eric B and Rakim. Make them clap to this. This is AC Sports Live. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me for this hour and some change. Continue to represent to the fullest what you stand for. Quote I shared with my son that I read this week: winners make it happen. Losers let it happen. Which one are you? All right. So go out there and get it, y'all. I'll see y'all next time on the AC Sports Live Show. I appreciate all the love, all the vibes. OG Dwight Smith in here. Good live show. I appreciate that, man. God bless you, brother. Prayers for our Long Beach brother, Fave Adams, who lost his son, Jabari, over the weekend to a car accident. Oh, man. Dang, man. Oh, man. Prayers up for Fave, man. I just saw Fave at the event a couple months back. Lost his son. I can't even imagine. But definitely prayers, condolences, shalom to Fave, man, family. No way to even fathom how they feel right now. All we can do is show them support and love and encouragement and show up to the homegoing celebration and love them up, man. All right, man. That's my show. I'll see y'all next time. Peace and blessings. I'm out.